And I'm Thibodeau. And there's three things that we love doing: eating boudin, eating crawfish, and watching WGS-TV.
Hello everybody, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux, and being joined, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my special guest from the Final Tap Out and the leader of Fearless Game Incorporated, the one, the only DJYolz. DJ, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? Let's get down with wrestling talk.
Exactly, and the wrestling talk we'll be talking about is the Friday Night Smackdown show for the week of October 5th, 2012. We open up this week's Friday Night Smackdown with, of course, the parent build for Big Show and Sheamus, the World Heavyweight title match at Hell in a Cell in 4 weeks' time, and they're still really taking a very comedic approach so far to the beginning of this build. We saw a little bit about it on Monday Night Raw when they had that championship debate, and I'm still trying to scratch my head as to why they decided to start with a championship debate to the build of Big Show and Sheamus. But as I digress, it's basically, like I said, a repeat of what we saw on Monday Night Raw between Big Show and Sheamus. It's just Sheamus picking at Big Show for losing to Daniel Bryan, tables, ladders, and chairs, when Daniel Bryan cashed in Money in the Bank. And that's all it was. And Sheamus bragging about the fact that he beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds. DJ, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very mediocre start to Friday Night Smackdown because, like I said, it's just basically a shorter version of the championship debate from what we saw on Monday night.
Yes, they're still harping on the same thing about Big Show losing in a short period of time and Sheamus beating Daniel Bryan in a short period of time. Instead of focusing more of heat between Big Show and Sheamus, they're using like past storylines instead of having a feud between the two. I mean, both guys are. I think that they could have built this feud a whole lot much more aggressive. If you look at both of them, I wouldn't class them as wrestlers. I class them as brawlers. Because if you look at the WMD and then you look at the bro kick, those aren't wrestling like grapple type of maneuvers. It's like hard hitting moves. So I'm shocked. Like even in the starting of this build, you noticed it. It was like the crowd wasn't even hyped.
Let's go ahead and talk about match number 1, DJ, for Friday Night Smackdown. It was the final match in the first round of the tag team tournament to determine new #1 contenders for the World Tag Team Championship, as the primetime players took on Kofi Kingston and RTruth, and that is a phenomenal way to end the tag team tournament, or first round of the tag team tournament, with two of your best teams, a team that was kind of shafted at SummerSlam, and now we have Kofi and RTruth, who are the former champions. Very hard to say, at first which team was going to go over, but in the long run, the team that's on the rise right now, a lot of people probably wouldn't admit it, but it is the primetime players. Kofi and RTruth had a great run as tag team champions, but I think WWE probably needs to split them up and have them go about singles way and let primetime players and the other teams go at it. As far as my rating for this match goes, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. It was a very decent match. A lot of great spots, especially between Kofi Kingston and Darren Young. Very nicely done. And now we got the brackets set up. We got the Rhodes Scholars taking on Santino Marella and Zack Ryder. Gee, an upper card team versus a mid card team. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that one. And now we got primetime players. This is going to be the better interesting match, DJ, as the primetime players will now slated to take on Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio, a team that is right now undefeated as a tag team. So, your thoughts on the bracketing?
I can't really say who's going to win, honestly speaking. The Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, and the primetime players. Two good teams, if you really think about it right now.
Definitely. Let's talk about match number 2 tonight on Friday Night Smackdown, as we saw Layla taking on Alicia Fox. Now, normally, DJ, I am not very high on the WWE Divas. They're more eye candy instead of having in-ring ability, being able to perform. But tonight, I've got to say, Layla and Alicia Fox actually impressed me. And I don't say that very often about the WWE Divas, but tonight they impressed me. Not only were they hot and good looking in their match, but they actually showed some actually good in-ring skill. I mean, Layla is getting better and better with her kicks, and especially with her version of Trish Stratus's chick kick. That's the finisher she used on Alicia, and she's getting better. And I like the fact that they made Alicia a little bit of a heel in this match, because they gave her a little bit of an attitude with it as well, and just gave her a little bit of a vicious side, and she was able to bring that out in that match. So I thought that was a good move, and they need to start doing something with their very, very thin roster. I don't mean divas, I mean the roster, because they really don't have a lot of divas left in the WWE, period. To say the fact that Alicia Fox and Layla impressed me in this match, DJ, I gotta go 4 out of 5. What do you think?
I think yes, it's around 4 out of 5. I was shocked that Alicia Fox during the match, she was even trash talking while she was fighting. Like when Layla was down, I noticed that she was trash talking her. That was kind of cool. That was a different side. I never saw that side from Alicia Fox.
Yep, and we all remember what kind of side Alicia Fox has, especially when she was partnered with DJ Gabriel. I wonder how many people will remember that reference. Next up, we had Wade Barrett taking on a no-name jobber. But all I can say is Wade Barrett and the Barrett Barrage think that they're right back now. That's all I'm gonna say. We finally got the name for his finisher though, the Souvenir Elbow.
That's the name of his finisher, the official Souvenir Elbow.
Yes.
I think he was a good wrestler. It's just that they destroyed him with this new image. I don't know how you feel, but even his entrance music is like, I just don't like it. I don't know.
Well, I will say this: it's a lot better than the one they had for him before he went out with injury. That one they had before, they had made it. You had one good one. It was the theme music from the core, and they switched it to another one, which was just god awful.
Yeah,
terrible.
I know you're saying that. I'm talking about like maybe when he changed from the Nexus into the core, that was a good entrance theme, and maybe I'm being a little bit too hypocritical, but I don't know. He looks weird with this whole new image that he's this brawler. I can't take him serious. I'm being honest. I just can't take him serious.
Well, one can only see where WWE will take Wade Barrett with this bare knuckles fighter gimmick. But as far as this jobber match goes, like I said, it was just flat out jobber match. But I'm going to split the difference just because Wade Barrett looked like he was in really good shape, and the fact that now we got a name for his finisher, that Souvenir Elbow. So I'm going to split the difference on this one, DJ. I'm going to go 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. That's good. That's a good rating for Mr. Wade Barrett. He also said that his services are now going to be enlisted or something like that.
Something.
Like anyone can hire him. So maybe that's a future story plot. That's something to think about too.
Yep. Now let's talk about the champion versus champion match. The Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion, Sheamus. Now, a lot of people are thinking, why they put this together. If you think back to last week's Friday Night Smackdown when Sheamus trashed Miz TV in the set, that's kind of the reason why we're having this match. Apparently, Miz wants revenge on Sheamus, and this was a very, very well-worked match. I mean, there's a reason why, 1, Miz is Intercontinental Champion, and 2, Sheamus is World Heavyweight Champion, and we got prime examples of that in this match. But the ulterior motive was kind of made known to me when Big Show came out, and apparently they were going to use him. It was just way too obvious. Big Show was going to come out. He knocks out The Miz, costs Sheamus the match. Miz wins via disqualification, and you kind of get an inkling of what was going to happen later on the night, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. But barring the kind of predictable appearance by the Big Show, this is still a very nicely worked match, in my opinion. DJ, I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I can say I enjoyed the WMD that he gave to Miz because he knocked his lights out. That's what I'm saying it. Because the Miz in that match, I would say that he was getting dominated from Sheamus, and it was a sad ending to him, if you put it directly, because he wakes up after getting attacked from Sheamus, and then he's either going to get hit with a bro kick or WMD. So either way, he was going down.
Oh yeah, but so far he's done okay with the Intercontinental title as as far as this commentator is concerned. Next up, David Otunga was in the ring, and he was talking about the situation that happened between Del Rio and Randy Orton. And then we hear Randy Orton's music cue up, thinking Orton was going to come out and possibly RKO David Otunga, and it's Alberto Del Rio coming out mocking Randy Orton. Now, I will say this, there was a little bit of hilarity to Alberto Del Rio's walk as Randy Orton. I mean, you know,
I burst out laughing when he came out, Apex Predator, and he goes into the ring and he does his arms like Randy Orton. I couldn't help myself. I was laughing my ass off.
He was like,
way of saying it.
And he was like, "I'm Randy Orton." Yeah, he was.
Like the crowd even were laughing. I think he was entertaining. Maybe that's what WWE were trying to do in that segment. Whether he was being serious in mocking Randy Orton or starting like a feud with him, I still found that entertaining, like funny. I found it really, really funny.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. It was hilarious. You know, people need to really see it from our point of view. It was a very entertaining segment and a very entertaining thing to have Del Rio come out kind of mocking Randy Orton. Also kind of hinting the fact that we possibly have a feud starting between Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton. That's what we got to look at as well. But Booker T came out and apparently he had enough of Del Rio and Otunga's antics, and he set up a match. It's going to be Del Rio and Otunga taking on I'm the tag team champions. No, I'm the tag team champions. No, I'm the tag team champions. Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. This was still a good match. I believe at one point Del Rio actually walked out of the match and left David Otunga hanging to face Team Hell No and lose the match. My only bad thing about this is we heard Ricardo Rodriguez on commentary on Monday Night Raw, and for his first time being on the headset, DJ, he was phenomenal. He was great. We did not get it tonight, and I was just a little bit disappointed because I was actually looking forward to more Ricardo Rodriguez commentary.
That is a very good way to use him, because he hardly does anything on the sidelines. He only helps out like at the end of the segment or like in any match to help Alberto cheat most of the time, right? So why can't he sit at the table during the rest of the match?
Yeah,
that is a good thing for the WWE to think about.
Yeah, he can put him over on commentary as well. So maybe they can promote him to being Ricardo Rodriguez's ring announcer / commentator. That could be something they could do, and have just Ricardo go on there and just put Alberto Del Rio over on commentary. And like I said, he did an entertaining job on Monday Night Raw, and I was just a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to hear him tonight on SmackDown. So just based on that, you know, even though the matchup was really nicely done, and we still had the odd couple, Team Hell No, winning the match, I'm only going to deduct a half a point because of the lack of Ricardo's commentary. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5. Other than that, it was still a nicely done tag team match. What do you think, DJ?
I felt the ending segment was good because you saw Daniel Bryan actually jumping off the top to finish off the match. You don't hardly actually see that. But another thing that you need to actually touch on is the amount of times the WWE has people walk out in a tag team match. Have you noticed recently?
Yeah, it happened.
Ziggler, Alberto Del Rio. The amount of times it's coming a little bit common, where one guy leaves the other guy behind, just walks out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it's happened quite a bit. I don't know why WWE is trying to follow this trend of having their wrestlers walk out during the matches. It just, you know, it don't make any sense to me. I really don't understand the whole plot line about having wrestlers walk out of a tag team match. You know. Maybe it's just pure coincidental that WWE's doing it back to back. We don't know. But speaking of doing things back to back, and I feel so bad for the poor ring because this next match featured Tensai and Big Show. And DJ, I can only imagine if rings could talk, that ring must have been screaming in agony from all that weight in that ring. Now, I know I'm not a small guy myself. I'm kind of a husky guy. But Tensai and Big Show combined, that's about 800 pounds of humanity in one ring. I just hope to God that ring was structurally reinforced to hold all that mass, because that is a lot of beef in one ring.
It would have been cool if they did a superplex or something on the top.
Yeah, we have another Mark Henry Big Show moment or Big Show Brock Lesnar moment for those of you who know their history in the WWE. It was a little bit predictable, based on what happened earlier in the night of what was going to happen next. Kind of saw it coming. Big Show had the WMD lined up, ready to hit Tensai with it, and out comes Sheamus, hits the bro kick on Tensai, causes Big Show to get disqualified, and Tensai is the winner via disqualification. Even though that was an entertaining way to do it, I got to deduct a whole point. I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on this one, DJ, because it was just too predictable, and I've said it multiple times here on my channel and on my my podcast that I used to have on Blog Talk Radio. When wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring, and this one, it was, even though it was still an okay match, it was just too predictable for my taste.
Well, if you notice as well, the crowd, when they played Sheamus' music, there are a lot of people who are looking at that screen. So, like, people were expecting, it looked to me like people were expecting or thinking that Sheamus is coming somewhere along the match, because they wouldn't actually focus so much on Tensai and Big Show. But I will say that I enjoyed the bro kick. I mean, he came sprinting in and he continuously kept on running. He didn't even wait. And he hit Tensai. So I would say, just to say for the bro kick, that was kind of cool. But the match itself and it being predictable, yeah, you can't say that. I mean, most people saw it coming.
This week's main event on Friday Night Smackdown was set up earlier in the night when CM Punk confronted Dolph Ziggler about the fact that Ziggler walked out on CM Punk's tag match that he had at the end of Monday Night Raw. So they're going back and forth, and then next thing you know, Booker T comes in and says, "Why don't you two settle it in the ring?" And that's how we get the main event. And I gotta say, this was a phenomenal main event. I mean, these two put on a great match, almost as good as their WWE Championship match they had at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. I wonder how many people will actually remember that, DJ, but I'm pretty sure you do as well as I do. The great match that CM Punk had with Ziggler at Royal Rumble, and this one by far was no exception. Great match. Both men look strong, look really good, and Ziggler has a great new t-shirt, by the way. I might be looking into ordering that for those of you who don't know. Stealing the Show, it was a phenomenal shirt. It really ties into Ziggler's character and looks really good, too. But as far as the match goes, ton of great spots. Wonderful match with Punk and Ziggler. Great main event. The finish came with the of course, the go to sleep, and Punk gets the win. But I gotta say, me as a fan, I was purely entertained by Punk and Ziggler in this match. Both guys, great way to finish off Friday Night Smackdown. I'm gonna go 5 out of 5 for the main event, DJ.
The ending of it, I would say, was cool, because, I mean, you had CM Punk being thrown off the top, he crashes, he wakes up, he counters
that spot, and then
straight to go to sleep.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, because that spot looked really, I don't know if it was botchy, but it's the way Punk landed on the outside looked really, really bad at first, because he was coming on the way down and then he hit the ring apron, which caused him to turn around and kind of slam almost head first on the floor. And it looked really, I couldn't see how Ziggler landed because they were more focused, the camera was more focused on CM Punk and the way he landed, and they actually showed it multiple times on replay, the way he landed on the outside. So I don't know if Punk may have, gotten a little woozy from it. He was able to finish the match okay, but you gotta imagine he had to be grabbing for the bottle of Tylenol after that.
Like, even at the end too, when Ziggler throws him off on the top and he slams into the apron, if you look closely at his back was really red.
Yes.
Like, so he took a lot of damage during the match. And I like how the ending finished. It was a really quick pace, because Ziggler ran to hit him, and then he runs into the corner, he bounces back straight into the GTS. Like, there was no stop. Usually with CM Punk, you get, like, he goes for his elbow, then he picks you up. Like, it's very, like, predictable. Whereas this, I felt, was just really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a good way to finish. And we forgot to speak about Mr. Ryback.
Oh, yes. We didn't talk about Mr. Ryback. But, then again, what can we say about Ryback that hasn't been said already?
Well, there is one thing I can ask you. There was CM Punk. here tonight, and there was Ryback here tonight.
Well,
Why was there no cutscene?
Because I think they're gonna focus more about CM Punk and Ryback on Monday Night Raw, which is technically the flagship show of the WWE. SmackDown is still a great show, but more people tend to watch, and they tend to focus more on storylines on Monday Night Raw rather than Friday Night SmackDown. And for those of you who are keeping records, Ryback took on Primo, and let's just say Epico ate a big clothesline on the outside. Primo got shell-shocked, and of course we all got to see Rosa Mendez, which is a win in my column. So I do apologize for skipping Ryback and Primo. It was unintentional. I need to put on my glasses when I read my notes. But overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw overall thoughts on... You got me thinking about Raw, DJ. Overall thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown this week. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. The opening, again, was a little bit mediocre with Big Show and Sheamus because, again, it was something we saw already on Monday Night Raw. They were just basically reiterating everything they said in the debate and in like a summary of sorts. Great tag match with the players taking on Kofi and RTruth. Layla and Alicia Fox, again, great job. They actually impressed me for once. And again, that's something I really don't say very much about the WWE Divas when it comes to in-ring wrestling. Other than that, capital H-O-T, hot for both of them. That's all I'm going to say. Wade Barrett taking on a no-name jobber, please. Come on. Miz and Sheamus, great match, even though Big Show's predictable run-in and it caused a disqualification, but it was still a good match. Team Hell No taking on Alberto Del Rio and David Otunga. I thought that was good as well. Tensai and Big Show, again, predictability kills matches, and it happened with Tensai, Big Show, and Sheamus, but a phenomenal finish, great finish with CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler, great main event. So again, my overall score is 4 out of 5. DJ, I gotta ask you for your overall thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown this week.
I think if we just minus Sheamus and Big Show stuff that happened during the night, it was a good show. There's a lot of entertainment, little bit of story plots, and good wrestling. That's the main thing. I mean, the main event had good wrestling.
Oh yes, definitely. That's why it gets a 5 out of 5 from me on that main event. But we'll want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out DJYolz on youtube.com/TheFinalTapout and youtube.com/FearlessGamingInc. That's INC, Fearless Gaming Inc. Be sure you guys check them out as well. Don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for DJYolz, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.